rubbish was scattered all over the place and that.
Big improvement on what it was, and if a lot more backs were like that, it would be a lot easier for us.
Since they put the bins in, it's been a lot tidier. Makes it easier for us, and it's a lot more cleaner for you as well.
Done it up well. So they have.
Awful, you didn't want to take your rubbish out. There was rats everywhere and leaks everywhere and rubbish everywhere, and it was so awful, honestly. I mean, taking the rubbish out was like a two-person job because you didn't want to go yourself, and it was just depressing. It was really depressing.
You had to virtually climb over this stuff if you wanted to go down into the back, so you just didn't go down into the back. And of course, because one person lays rubbish, you find everybody else does, you know.
The grass was almost non-existent. It was really dirty. The refuse in the bins were everywhere. There was no washing lines. You never saw the kids playing. There was no plants. It was just a kind of a big, depressing, kind of nasty grey sort of space.
There is an element of depression in Glasgow, and a lot of that is looking out, you know, at what's around you, and a lot of that is about litter.
It's horrible. There was washing machines were dumped, old bathroom suites that they'd cleaned out, tins of paint, glass, those hypodermic needles, you know, from people shooting up in the basements. It was absolutely filthy, and it was a whole culture of just dumping.
Glasgow is a very, I mean, it's changing a bit, but there are loads and loads of neighbourhoods where there is no cohesiveness, or there is no architecture, you know, that really helps to find some kind of sense of community. So I think the issues are a bit wider or a bit deeper than just putting couple of neighbours together and ask them to put a gate in the backyard or something.
When I first moved in, we got everybody around the GOW, before it was called GOW, to do a massive clear up, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and we did that. That went on for like a couple of months every Sunday, and it really was fantastic. But then it just all stopped. And then it just went back down to how it was before, which people just started doing their own thing, and it just got out of hand. It just got wild again, and the more wild it got, the more you just went, well. And then Eric came in and started everything up.
A few of us wanted to make the changes more substantial than just the occasional clean-up, and we organised a meeting in one of the shops in Gibson Street. It was the shop that was lying empty at the time, so we got the keys for the shop. And we just put notes up on all the closes, and loads of people flooded in. It was a dark, wet, rainy night, and they brought their dogs and their kids, and it was a real kind of jamboree. And we asked people what kind of things did they want to see changed, and folk had a huge agenda. I think it's when you ask a question that hasn't been asked before, you get big response to it. And folk wanted to have the bins cleared up. They wanted to have we had rats at the time. The rats had to get rid of them. They wanted to stop people coming around and raking through the bins and making a mess. They wanted to be able to go out the back and feel safe, where it was all overgrown and very dark. They wanted it to be more private. They wanted to have places to sit, and they also wanted things like the roads to be changed and railings to be dealt with and noise to be stopped, and with a huge list.
Every month, several of us would come out and clean up, and every month we filled at first 2 skips for about the first year, and it was only after a couple of years it went down to we got 1 skip a month. It took a long time to get away from the culture of dumping rubbish.
We used to have communal clear-ups of things that just appeared endlessly, and I think it was one of those catch-22 things. People saw us with skips and wheelbarrows, so they thought, well, we can dump stuff there and it'll get taken away safely. So endless afternoons clearing things.
I have helped actually go out and physically clean up and clear it up. And we're also discussing, we're getting together, that's quite messy out the back, just as you go out the back door here. So we're going to get one of these power pumps or power hoses or whatever you call it. And we're going to club together and buy that. And clean the place out there as well. So I've done a bit of the cleaning. I haven't done any of the planting. And I've done some of the discussion. I've answered all the questionnaires.
Done what I can. I mean, we all helped in the painting of the fences, and we did some cleaning of the back courts, and we did some planting and that. So yeah, I've been as involved as I could have been.
You could all sit and watch other people do it, but you do get something being involved in things, getting to meet people, getting to know them. Actually, it's productive and enjoyable to be involved in things looking nicer, yeah, I mean, it makes you feel better.
This is just a quiet little place where only some people own the property and live here, and the rest are people coming and going. They've sometimes got lots of energy and want to come out and help, and lots of them did, and they were probably the most energetic, the students. So it's quite a mix, but it did take, well, almost about 2 years before people got out of the habit of dumping so much rubbish that we could fill 2 skips every month.
As soon as we cleaned it one month, by the next month there was another huge amount that was there left. And then we got the involvement of Kelvin Clyde Green Space, which is an organisation that was trying to help the improvement of the back courts and urban places. And they were great because they came along with experience. They organised us into a committee, and we got a bank account, and we got really sort of properly set up. They were able to access some funding for us, and we started to gain confidence. The little group of us that were particularly involved in it started to become more confident in seeing the potential of what we could do.
To see the transformation now over the past 5 years has been brilliant. So now we've got covered bin sheds, we've had all the slabs redone, we've got nice benches, nice wooden benches in particular.
3 different benches. It reads, a tamed wood, time, sitting still.
And a lot of people are now using the old bins as planters to grow vegetables, rhubarb, potatoes, all that sort of thing.
It's fantastic, it's really nice. Yeah, it's like one of the first things I noticed when I moved in. I was moving all my stuff in and the window was open. It's really lovely.
So sometimes, you're cooking and you're cleaning up, and then you get a view to look at, and sometimes you might see people there having a barbecue, and then it makes cleaning up so much easier.
Now I find myself and some of the other people, you come round now and you actually find people sitting.
It's generally the first sight I get in the morning when I go in the kitchen to fetch my coffee, and that feels really nice, I think.
It was quite a large deciding factor when we moved in here, how nice the backcourt was and how much of it, especially the recycling bins as well. We were very impressed with those.
Well, Jan came earlier on this year and she made a fantastic mosaic for the middle of the backcourt, and she did some plaques for the back of each tenement, and folk have liked them so much that they wanted us to ask her back. So she's come along and it's given people the opportunity to get hands-on and make their own little bit of creative art.
Oh, well done! That's lovely, Sandra.
That's good.
Yeah, have you seen them transform from being quite grotty, really run-down backcourts where people just threw things, didn't care, and I think a lot of trouble with kids hanging about them, they're beautiful now, really lovely place, yeah, gorgeous.
The loveliness of the backcourt, again, because we've managed to forge quite a good relationship with the residents. We use that area for having the staff having a cigarette break. Obviously, as I've said, we use it for our bottle bins, and it's just where our kitchen looks out onto the backcourt. So it just gives us somewhere nice, and I think if you have a court in that condition, it encourages you to keep yourself tidy. One tidy thing means you're not going to go and leave your garbage or mess it up. So no, it's lovely, and we also went to a drinks party out there, which was very nice.